It's very hard to go to that option because it's really a double-edged sword. United States also imports Russian oil. So the whole world, especially Europe, they are significantly dependent on Russian, both gas, natural gas and oil. But now that the market, even before the Russian crisis, was unbalanced and very tight, we have a supply crunch in the market. The market's eyes is on OPEC Plus every month additional supply release in the market. So if we have Russian oil supplies off the market, it's going to be very hard to supply that. There's not really any alternative except some barrels that could come from, let's say, Iran, but it's really not any alternative in the market. And it's very hard to look at it. If Russia cannot get its money, then there's no incentive to sell it, because if the assets are going to be frozen, they cannot sell additional oil, then what is going to happen tomorrow? Are they going to start or complying with their previous agreement to continuing the balance of the market by adding that 400,000 barrels per day?
You make a fantastic point. And with regards to the OPEC Plus meeting that we have coming up this week, our sources were saying that there have been conversations taking place over the past couple of days about what exactly type of response we could see from OPEC. But of course, oil politics very much playing out here. Russia is critical to that alliance. Are we going to see the UAE and Saudi Arabia perhaps standing up to defend against 100 USD oil and maybe pushing out further production? Or could we perhaps see another month where they just roll over that current agreement? What's at stake?
So something that OPEC always focuses on is the stable and balance of market balance. They don't have a specific price target, because each country obviously have different breakdown prices for both their budget and production. So they are not so much focused on the prices as long as they feel the market is balanced. And as UAE's energy minister recently said, OPEC Plus cannot be the only option to supply the market. And now that we are having sanctions and additional hands in the market to take more supplies out of the market, it's going to be much harder to just expect OPEC Plus to cover for the supply crunch in the market.
Indeed. And what about the alternative policy responses? Could we see more pressure perhaps being applied on the United States to go ahead and pull the trigger on another SPR release? They've done it before when prices were much lower. Is that a real prospect now?
That's an option to happen. We're also seeing that they are very cautious with directly targeting the Russian oil supplies. It was only Canada that just today announced that they are not going to import Russian oil, but the imports that Canadian imports of Russian oil is really insignificant. So Canada could afford not importing those small barrels of oil, but for the rest of the world, whoever is importing, including United States, moving these volumes of oil is not going to be that easy and that quick. So releasing strategic petroleum reserves is obviously an important option if the market really needs that, considering that even in United States, we are dealing with a high inflation and also high gasoline prices.
That's exactly right. And you know what? The situation in Europe with regards to energy security looking very precarious at the moment. And of course, what happens next with oil remains to be seen. Sarah, great conversation. Thank you so much for joining us today.